Alright, welcome to round one against Big Killer B. Uh, let's see here. Well, we got all three colors. I mean, that's a pretty sweet start. And, I mean, we don't have any creatures to cast right away, but we do have an Orzhov Charm, an Arrows of Justice, an Angelic Edict removal, and an Assault Griffin. So we're gonna keep it. It's a little slow, but we're gonna see what happens. Okay, well I have two mountains in my deck, and there they are. so there you have it. And there's the blind obedience we passed. That shouldn't probably really affect us too much. I don't really have anything with haste or anything like that. I'm not really trying to draw more lands right now. Something to actually cast would be nice. I'll play the black. Sometimes mana, not sometimes, but most of the time, what lands you play is actually going to be important. Sometimes you might try to get cute and say, oh, I'm going to play two mountains and throw them off my track because I'm not playing those colors. But, that's not really what you're trying to do. Alright, so I can play the Orzhov Charm on the Krasis and take 4, which isn't amazing, but by the time he attacks, Arrows of Justice isn't going to do the trick. So I'm just going to play it now. I don't really want to deal with the unblockable. It would take a couple turns before it hit me for 4, but since I have no creatures and just removal sitting in my hand at the moment, I just want to, oh, hey, something different. Just play that out and pass, and hopefully the Assault Griffin will get some beats in. I guess this would have taken care of the Krasis too, but what are you gonna do? Alright, well, I mean, we're looking at 4 mana here, which is a lot of mana. I mean, you're gonna be looking at what he can be running out of here. I mean, counter creature spell, just nothing. He might be running a 5th color. He might be trying to play the blue-green haste fish grab. But I'm going to go ahead and play the Assault Griffin anyway, and if he counters it, he counters it. I don't think there's any counter that counters it without any creatures, so hooray. I mean, obviously there's the Psychic Strike, but oh, there's black right there. So we're running some sort of 4-color monstrosity up above, and we'll see what he's got for us. The Balustrade Spy. Alright, so, I mean, we're definitely going to kill that. Is it Edict or Arrows of Justice? I'm not too sure just yet. We'll see. We'll see what, he milled me a land. That's good. I didn't want that. We'll see what our options are here in a moment. Smite. That's good. Again, we have no creatures at the moment. I think I'm running 13 or 14, but them's the breaks. So at this point, I mean, he hit his black, and the card he chose to play is Balustrade Spy. So he could be trying to play around removal, or that could just be the best card he has to play. There's various options. I think at this point I'm just going to attack and then Arrows of Justice if he blocks. I could Angelic Edict and get in for 3, but I don't really want to do that because I might need to kill something big with this Angelic Edict. He's got 3 cards, he couldn't cast anything, and he's not even going to block. So that works out. So at this point we're just going to pass, and if he attacks, we'll either Arrows of Justice or Execution or swing his Spy. Okay. Like I said in draft, I actually think that's a good looter. This is 0-3, so we can block the ground. and he can get cards back that you loot. So, I mean, that's strong. At this point, I am just going to take the 2 and use Executioner Swing. I just think the Arrows of Justice is better served on something else. I don't really mind taking the 2. I have, like I said, you never want to play 18 lands because you can flood out. But I actually am only playing 17. I'm just kind of drawing pretty slow here. I mean, I do have 3 removal spells. We're going to go ahead and get in with the Assault Griffin, of course. And then the question is whether I want to play an Angelic Edict on a Bane Alley Broker. At this point with a Smite, I think yes, because if I really need to hold back to kill something, I can do that. He's only got 2 cards in hand. I don't really want to let him draw into answers. I mean, he might have an answer that I don't know about, you know. He's got 2 cards in hand, but I don't really want to let him draw to get there. So that's what we're gonna do. And then it looks like, I mean, he might be flooding out here. He might have something else going on. Either way, we're just going to go ahead and get in there and cast a Kingpin's Pet and see what happens. Now, you could have a Psychic Strike. Alright, speaking of the Grizzly Spectacle, there it is right there. Nothing I can really do about that, so lost the Syndic of Tithes and all of that, but, you know, so be it. And now we got a Kingpin's Pet, we can Smite, we can Arrows of Justice, and we can swing for next turn, so we both only have 2 cards, hard to know really. I mean, I at least have a threat on the board. Who knows what he's got going on with, I'm guessing, a ton of lands, but I guess we both are just going to draw a ton of lands this turn. Okay, well, this is what we're going to do, is play the Vizkopa, probably for only 5, don't need to play it for 6. And we're going to go ahead and extort it. And we're going to pay 1 life, and if he's got a land, it's totally worth the 1 life to know what he's got. And if he's got a counterspell, we're going to find out right now. Alright. Alright, well, I guess the answer is a totally lost. Okay. Well, I guess I do not have to pay 1 life to find out that he has a totally lost in hand. And, we'll go ahead and swing it back. You know, I was tempted to draft this card. I mean, 2 mana extort with an okay, like, some sort of ability is fine, but, I mean, for me, the Kingpin Pet is clearly going to be the better card for me, at least so far. I mean, it's a little more expensive, but, you know, it's it's going to deal damage in addition to its extorting, as opposed to just extorting. I mean, you know, maybe in Constructed, in fact, in Constructed against haste decks, I mean, this card's a beast, but, you know, we're not, that's not what we're running here. So I'm gonna just let him keep that. I mean, I could attack in Arrows of Justice it, but I mean, I'm not really worried about it at this point in time. And there you go. So, like I said, all you gotta do is play Madcap skills. He's got no cards in hand. The only question is which guy I want to put it on. And I think the answer is the Confessor. I can get in for an extra 4 if I put it on him, whereas if I put it on him, I mean, I get in for an extra 3, but that's just not as good. So we're going to go ahead and put it on this guy. We're going to double extort it. And we're going to get our beatings on. Go ahead and tap the swamp for this one. And in we come. I mean, with two decent removal cards and him flooding out completely, I mean, it looks like we got this one. And, I mean, what I'm not really worried about was, I mean, he could play a Merciless Eviction. That's the only thing that's kind of scary. Alright, so we win game 1. Let's see. I mean, that worked out alright. You know, if your opponent draws nothing but land, it's a little easier to win. I also drew 7 or 8 myself, but, you know, I mean, he is running some 4-color monstrosity, as I like to call it. I mean, I'm not going to run a Dying Wish no matter what. I mean, I would say no matter what, but it has no place in my deck, that's for sure. I don't need an aerial maneuver. I'm the guy with the flyers. Nav Squad Commandos aren't going to do anything for me. Debtor's Pulpit's not going to do anything for me. I mean, I could run a Gutter Skull. Let's see if anything in here is terrible. I don't think so. No, I mean, I think all that stuff is fine. So, I will see you in game 2.